Hello, my name's Anne and I am in my garden here in Crick in Northamptonshire. I help my friends at Access Garden Products at the shows, and I'm really lucky because Matthew lets me use the products that we show at all the gardening shows in my garden. I love gardening, but I wouldn't profess to being a very professional gardener. I'm very much let's have a go and see what happens type of gardener, but there's a lot of people out there in exactly the same boat as me. So what we thought would be nice to do is to use the products month by month and show what I'm going to grow, but also to show you what you can grow in your garden. Now the products, this is the mini cloche, and it's perfect to use in a bed because you can then grow a small crop of seeds and then move it on so that you've got a continuous supply. So today, now we're in March and it's a beautiful day. Last year it was thick snow in March, but we've had really good weather, so we're hoping to get off to a flying start this year after all the rain and everything that we've had throughout the winter. So the ground is quite cold because of all the rain that we've had, so that's why the cloche, we're going to try and prove that the cloche is really helpful to speed up the process of growing and grow some other seeds next to it in the open air, and then we can compare as they start to grow. So this, I'm going to grow beetroot boltardi. My husband loves to make beetroot chutney, so we need a big supply of beetroot. So what I'm going to do is just make a couple of drills in the soil. Already feels warm in here with the sun shining through. It's a bit like cooking, isn't it? You need the right temperature to get everything going, just as you would if you were cooking something in the oven. Space them out. I think beetroot are quite kind. They don't mind being too close to each other or too far apart. You can just thin them out later on. Have some baby beetroot to start with, and then make chutney with the bigger ones as they start to grow. I know I have actually got a spacer, but we'll use that another day. So with the seeds in, that's it, and all you then do is just cover them over lightly. This is toughened safety glass, so if anything falls onto the cloche, all the plants would be protected with the toughened safety glass as well. So I'm going to put the roof on now, put those seeds back in there. I'm going to use those later on. We won't film that now, we'll do that when you've all gone home, but I'm going to do a couple more rows on the outside of the cloche as well, and then we can compare. So put the glass on. I'll put a label on as well, just to remind myself when I've done them. And there we go. So that's the beetroot ready to go, and see what happens in a couple of weeks' time. We've moved on now. This is my mini greenhouse. I've got it sat on the patio. It's on 2 levels and it's fantastic. I used to have a normal greenhouse, got rid of it. This gives me as much, or if not more, yield than that one did. I think it's because of the 2 levels and it's just so compact. Still has toughened safety glass. And I have overwintered all of my geraniums, which are fantastic. They're even in flower look, so that's really lovely. I'll change those into cuttings shortly. Top tip, when you go shopping and you see the supermarket herbs and chilies, buy them and pop them on, because as you can see here, I've got a lovely supply of chilies. This plant has cost a couple of pounds from the supermarket. So, and even they don't always look after them in supermarkets and don't water them. You can often get them reduced as well. All they need is a little bit of TLC and they come back. So that's my chilies growing in the frame really, really happily. And also this is where I like to sow some seeds as well. This year I'm going to sow flowers and vegetables together in the raised beds, because for one thing it's a garden, so I want it to have lots of flowers, and for the other thing, the flowers attract the insects which pollinate the vegetables, so it's a win-win situation. You've got flowers and vegetables all mixed together. So I'm going to sow some seeds now. So these are plants, obviously you're going to grow what you love. I love calendula, which are sort of bright orange marigolds, and sunflowers, and these are the little mini These are called Topolino, little miniature sunflowers. That's what I like to grow, not the great big ones, but I like the little ones in the bed. So I'm going to sow a few calendula. I've used my dibber just to make little holes in the compost. I'm a lazy gardener. Life is too short for pricking out seedlings. It's boring, and I get fed up, so I don't bother to do it. If that's what you like to do, then you do it. But I can't be bothered. I'd rather have more pots and have them growing funny little shaped seeds, these, like little worms. But I'd rather just drop them in and have fewer on the go, and I find that way it sorts it out later on when I can't be bothered to sow seeds. So I was going to tell you, I had these calendulas last year, and one of the plants has self-set in my other mini greenhouse, which I will show you in a moment. It has flowered. It's a self-setting plant in the mini greenhouse, and it has flowered all year, all winter rather. And on a rainy day, you know how bad it's been this winter with all the poor people in Somerset and everything, with all the flooding. We have hardly seen the sun, and I've looked out of my kitchen window feeling quite fed up, and there's my little calendula flowering away in the frame because it's in its own little subtropical climate. And do you know what? It has cheered me up so much in this awful, awful weather. So your frame can keep flowers going all winter long as well, because it's just warm enough in there for them to survive. So I'll show you that plant in a minute, because it's become a great friend of mine, that plant has. Right, I'm going to try 2 in each pot. I got these pots at a flower show at Westminster last year. They're Koya, I think that's the way you say it, and you don't have to repot the plants. They'll just the roots will just grow out of the bottom, which is fine by me, because again, there's no repotting, there's no plastic plant pots taking up room in your garden. You can just put these straight into the ground. There's a spare one now. Shove that one in there, see if that helps it. There we are. I'll give those a little water and then just cover those over. I've used a John Innes soil-based compost for seeds and small cuttings because I like the soil-based. I think it retains water better and goes into your garden in a nice clean way. So there we are. Obviously that's not all I'm going to sow. I am going to do some more later on, but you'll be bored by the time if you watch me sow a whole packet of seeds. So I've just done those to show you. So here we are. This is my old faithful cold frame. It's I apologise for the state of it. I haven't cleaned this one yet, but they still grow whether you clean them or not. But obviously for disease wise you need to keep them clean. The difference between a cold frame and a greenhouse is that you can have heat in a greenhouse that gets things going. A cold frame, you harden plants off in there before you're putting them out into the garden. But as you can see, here it is, really, really happy right throughout the winter. It's flowered in there faithfully and I absolutely love it. This is my favourite plant in the whole garden at the moment. So next time you come and visit me in my garden, I'm going to be talking about how the beetroot have been getting on, how my seeds have been getting on, and I'm going to go and find some baby chilli plants in this next month. So next month is April, so we're going to be talking about chilli plants to make chilli jam and everything else to do with chilies, which I really love, and I'm going to be sowing some French beans as well next month as well. So hope to see you again soon.